Joe.
Hey, Christina, how you doing?
Christina from Kaleido. Good, how you doing?
I'm doing wonderful. It's good to get a chance to catch up with you again. It's been a little bit. You guys are just out tearing up the road with September Morning right now, doing your big Texas swing, wrapping that up this weekend. That's kind of an interesting pairing, you guys with September Morning. You're the usual upbeat energy of Kaleido with the dark conceptuality of September Morning.
Well, our new music is darker and heavier, so it actually works out.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that about the new single. We'll talk about that in a second. But how's the tour going so far?
It's going well. Just sweating our butts off in Texas.
Oh, yeah, I'll bet. It's not going to get any better moving over to Arizona next. So.
Oh, I know it. But it's been a lot of fun. We still have like 3 weeks left to go, so we're just hitting the halfway mark. I think yesterday was exactly like halfway.
Right.
So we're coming around the bend.
That's a long time to be out on the road. It doesn't seem like a lot for people who don't do it, but when you're out there doing it every day, that's an insane amount of time to be out straight when you're, not a huge arena tour where you got planes and stuff. You're just slugging from one town to the other,
Yeah. It's been really fun, though. We love touring, and it felt good to get back out.
Well, I noticed you guys, since the last time we talked, you guys have trimmed down to a quartet. How does that change that live dynamic?
It's the same high energy, and we're enjoying it. This is the original 4 members of Kaleido, and it's sounding great.
So, new music. You have a new single out, My Enemy. Tell us about the song, because, as you said, it's a little heavier. It seems to be a darker sense to it.
Yeah, it's like the rest of all our new material. It's a bit more, I would say, it's a bit more mature. It's a bit more personal, and it's a bit deeper. And so, My Enemy, delves into the relationship that you can either have with yourself or another person. Perhaps a substance, such as, like a battling addiction. It's kind of whatever the listener wants it to be. And, it's a common thread with being a human. So I think that's pretty relatable to everybody, too.
Absolutely. When I listened to it, I was like, man, this could apply to anything from a person or a group to an addiction to mental health issues. It really sort of spans.
Yeah.
So, and as you mentioned, slightly heavier direction as well. Little maturation process, or were you intentionally looking to go a little bit heavier, darker this time?
It kind of just happened. It was pretty a natural evolution within the group. We've just been evolving over the years, so it's kind of just where it went. We didn't try too hard, it just kind of went that way.
And you guys had the good fortune of working with the taskmaster himself, Johnny K, on this. What did he bring to the table?
Oh, he was awesome. He was just very meticulous and, focused, and it was a really great experience. I can't wait to work with him again.
Well, and you said new music. Is this just a digital single? Is there an EP or a new album on the way, or...?
Yeah, definitely. We have enough material for that. It's just kind of been like a timing thing. We went in and did the one song with Johnny and then hit the road for this tour. So when we get finished up with this, we're going to be taking some time away from touring to get those songs recorded and put together what I'm thinking is going to be an EP and hoping to have out in the first quarter of 2019.
And that's an interesting thing in this day and age. I mean, I grew up in the era of albums. Everything was albums, and EP was a rare thing. But in the digital age, with the short attention span a lot of people have, does it make more sense just to do EPs?
I think so, because I feel that a lot of good songs get lost nowadays being released within a full-length album.
Plus, with EPs, you can get them out more frequently.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's, for me, I just want all... really great songs and not a bunch of filler, and just put out, a shorter collection of songs at a time. That's the plan.
Sort of, this is where we are in this moment in time.
Yeah.
Nice. So, we'll be looking forward to that. And I was just thinking back, it's been over a year now since the release of Experience. Now that you've had a good amount of time to sort of live with the album and tour on the record, how have your feelings about the record changed or evolved over that time?
I still will always love it. You know, it was a time period where we were going through a lot of changes within our band and live, and I feel that album really does tell a story of the time period that we were in. But I like where that album has led us to where we are now, you know, and we learned a lot throughout that process. And it being called Experience is pretty appropriate because, you know, as we continue to experience life and grow as people and musicians, it comes out the other side, and we're just constantly trying to better ourselves and just keep on living.
Well, that's a nice segue, because sort of what I was going to ask you is, what did you take away from the experience of Experience that helped you when you started writing and recording the new music?
To just do what I wanted to do and not listen to the advice or push from certain people that we have worked with in the industry. We're kind of like pushed and pulled in a lot of different directions over a couple years, and Experience was the point where we kind of just were like, screw it, we're going to do what we want to do. We're just going to get these songs down and put them out. And so, you know, learning that I can do that and had success with that album and got to tour on it and have tons of fans that like really love those songs, it just reinforces the fact that I'm going to, you know, continue to do that and just make the music that we make and follow our heart.
Absolutely. Well, and it's working, because My Enemy is a fantastic song. I love the directions.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Been playing it on Metal Nation Radio and fans.
Thank you so much.
Oh, absolutely. So I know you're hot, you're sweaty, you're tired, you're in the middle of this long tour. I don't want to keep you. I want to keep your voice healthy. So just a couple quick ones for fun before we get out of here.
Okay.
What have you been reading or binge watching lately?
Actually, a friend of mine just published her first book, her first science fiction novel, and it's called Dawn Among the Stars. And so I want to give a shout-out to Samantha Huagan. She brought a signed copy of it to our show in Atlanta. So I've been just starting to read that. I'm a big science fiction fan, so just starting to read that. And then as far as binging, right before we left for this tour, I watched that show Claws, and I'm kind of like obsessed with that.
Nice. And football season kicked off last night. Do your Lions have what it takes this year?
Oh, man, I don't know. I never get my hopes up. I hope so because, you know, Detroit loves their sport, and it's always, like, such a great excitement and buzz within the city when the teams are doing well. I'm just hoping that the Wings do better this year, too.
Hockey's my big sport, so I'm with you there. But, all right. Well, I appreciate the time, Christina. You guys have a fantastic time on the rest of the tour. Thanks for taking a little bit of time.
Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it. It was great to catch up with you.
Absolutely. You too. We'll see you when you make it to town. Take care.